Hi, good morning YouTube, this is Rafael, welcome to the family. Normally the vlog is gonna be in Spanish, so for those subscribers who has questions about what am I doing and they want the details on Spanish, just comment below and I'm gonna make sure I answer all your questions. Today I'm gonna be doing the oil change to prove that some of the maintenance that you do to your car, you can do it and save some money. They are chassis W204. One of them is a GLK350, the other one, the blue one, is the C350. It's a really easy thing to do. It takes about an hour. On parts it's about 40 bucks between the oil and the filter, but when you get it done at the dealership, it's about a $200 to $250 labor, and if you do it outside, it's gonna be about $150 to $200 on labor and parts. So I'm gonna show you how easy it is to do the change, what things do you need to get to do the change. We have the oil. This car requires between 6 to 8 quarters of oil, so a little bit more than a regular car. We have the filter. I like to use the K&N filter. The number is the HP7004, which is really good. I never have complaints. I have heard that some of the filters they break, and I don't want that to happen on the car. We need the returner and the funnel to change the oil, the tool to remove the filter, and the other part is a number 8 that is to remove the plastic covers that we have below the car. I am gonna be using this tool to get in the floor, gloves, and the power tool. This is just to go faster, but with a regular wrench you can do the job. For the GLK, which is the SUV, I'm gonna be using the rams. I'm gonna start lifting the car, showing how the job is done, and let's roll. As you guys can see, we have the Classic V6 engines for Mercedes. I have a few friends from the dealer, they said that is one of the best engine Mercedes have. Of course, when you come to a V8 by V-Turbo, that's another story, but it's a really reliable engine and I love it. I have opened the cap. This is the oil cap to put oil. This is the oil stick that is on the back that I put it up a little bit as well to make sure the oil have some air to go out. And this is the oil filter. I already removed this cap, which is a fork clip that if you haven't done in a while, make sure you remove it from the side. Then from the other side, it has fork clips that if you don't are very delicate, they break really easy. So I'm gonna clean the engine after, but let's start with the oil filter. On the bottom, this is the first step. You have 2 plastic covers that we need to remove. This plastic cover has an 8mm screws and it has about 12 that we're gonna start removing so I can show you the oil pan. Both of the covers have to be removed in order to access the oil pan. I tried to remove only one and trying to save some time, but it's not worth it. Remove both of them and everything's gonna be easier. You can use a ratchet, but as I have the tool, I'm gonna use the power tool. Put all of them on one side so you don't lose them. There's a few more on the back. Okay, and everything's gonna fall down. First plastic out, second plastic out. It's kind of like clip on the bumper, so just put it back on. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 14 screws. So now that we have access to the oil pan, I'm gonna show it to you. This is the oil pan, this baby right here. This is the screw that we need to remove, and we use a 13mm key. Every time you change the oil, check if there's any oil leak around. I don't see any, so we're good to go. We're gonna get this one out with a 13 inches oil returner to get all that oil out. A piece of carton to make sure it doesn't damage my floors. So to place the oil pan, hopefully it doesn't get messy. Make sure that to the side that you're gonna take off the screw, oil is gonna drain towards that side. So I would recommend that you put the oil pan a little bit to the driver's side of the car. So if it happens that you lose the screw and everything goes messy, you're gonna make sure you keep everything under a cleaning standard, I would say, because when you're playing with oil, it's gonna get messy no matter what. So we're loosening the screw. The screw is loose. This is pretty much like a matter of practice and lucky, because you have to like unscrew the screw. The oil is gonna go like crazy, so you have to like remove the whole oil screw and make sure you kind of like hold it there, so when you take it off, the screw does not fall into the oil and you can keep a little bit of control. Okay, the screw is out, so all you have to do is just pull, and that oil is gonna, I'm holding it right now. Okay, I'm gonna move the oil a little bit more. Super scared, you see the oil start dropping. Oh my god, I'm scared. So let's do 1, 2, 3. Oh no, one more. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, it was super clean. I did it. You see all that dirty oil. One recommendation, if you're doing an oil change to a Mercedes, make sure you get the big oil pump to get it done, because it has a lot of oil. Now we have to wait for the oil to drain. Like I said, I opened the oil cap on the top so the oil goes faster, and if you see it's not jumping, everything going smooth. Once it drains completely, I'm gonna put the screw back. I'm checking here, I don't see any metal particles, so that shows that the engine is in good condition and there's no damages to the engine. It's something really good to check every time you're doing your oil change. If there's any problems with your engine, or if there's any problems with the internal parts, you're gonna see some metal particles here. So far this is clean. The oil is super dirty, that's normal. While the oil pan gets drained, I'm gonna start removing the oil filter. Normally you should be able to remove it with your hands, but because it's plastic, it might get a little bit stuck. So let's try to take it off with their hands, and if not, just use the tool for the oil filter. I like to use the one with rubber so it doesn't damage the plastic, because if it gets damaged, it's gonna be a pain for the next time. The way I do it with the hands, if you cross your hands like this and create your circle, so let's try. Nope, it's stuck. The easy way just to put it like this. This is the part that you're gonna apply torque, so when the rubber torques, it helps you pull better. And of course you adjust the size, make sure it's really tight. When you are putting the tool to take it off, for you to make torque, even though it's the little bit more uncomfortable part, okay, it's out. Unscrew the part, and I'm gonna show you how to replace the filter. This is why I like to put a carton on the floor, so I can make my mess and I just throw out the carton when I finish. It's gonna leak oil when you take it off, so don't be scared. So when you're removing the oil, it's leaking oil like crazy, so I will let it sit for a little bit so the oil pan take it at the bottom, and when you think it's not too oily, flip it over and take it outside the car. Now we're gonna proceed to replace the oil filter. I'm gonna give you the step-by-step while the car stops draining the oil. If you look, it's just dripping a few drops, but I prefer to make sure that the oil is fully drained, so I'm gonna give him some time. Going back to the filter, so I know it's gonna get a little bit messy, and I like these gloves. I'm gonna take them off. I'm gonna use only the plastic gloves, which they are replaceable. When you get the box with the filter, at least K&N, which I love them, it comes with the filter, and it comes with the new O-rings that you need to replace. When it comes with the O-rings, some of them are extra because this filter is used in several cars. So my recommendation is to make sure that when you're replacing the filter, you're changing an O-ring one by one to make sure you don't get confused and that you don't get the wrong size on it. There's a few of them, but I want to make sure. If you see, all of them have different sizes, so it's very important that you change the right one. So let's start removing the filter. I'm pretty sure it has a lot of oil still on it, so I'm gonna remove the filter and put it on a plastic bag to avoid any additional damage. I'm gonna put it on the side, and I'm gonna start replacing the O-rings. First of all, and it's the most important, the big one. Why? Because if you don't change this one, you're gonna have an oil leak in your engine bay. So let's put the first one so we get it out of the way. And being honest, with KN, I like that they put red O-rings because you can make sure you're doing it right. You put it not all the way to the end because there's like an additional line that you don't go over there. Then you have 2 more rings to replace, which is these 2 on top. To remove them, keep in mind that this filter cartridge is plastic, so it's really delicate. So make sure that when you remove it, trying to do the least damage possible. I'm gonna take this out, make sure I push it. And I can tell you guys, this O-ring is burned because it's super hard. So what I do, I'll check with the other ones to make sure I got the right one, which is third smallest one. Just put it back. Okay, we have one. We have one more to go. As you say, it's burned. So it even has like a square shape already. Use the screwdriver just to take it off the rail, but trying to do everything with your hands. As you see, there's still oil remaining inside, so that mess is gonna go no matter what. So we have one more oil ring done. We confirm it's the biggest one. We're gonna put it back. And now the fun part, we have to squeeze it in. Okay, now we insert the filter. And this is good to go, people. Let's put it back on the engine. There's a little bit of a mess. That's why I like to clean my engine bay after I change it. But filter, just make sure it goes in. I always spin it backwards 1 or 2 times to make sure it's on the rail. Once you feel that it's on the rail, you just torque it in and you're good to go. When you're gonna put it back, that last O-ring, which is the biggest one, it gets a little bit tight, but all you do is clean and you put hand pressure. When you're gonna take it out on the next oil change, it's gonna get a little bit hard, but it's because of the heat of the engine and the friction. Try like 2-3 times just to make sure that the air goes out the chamber. On my previous try, it was tight and now it's still going. I will try a 4th time just to make sure.
Mom.
Okay, it's perfectly tight. I'm gonna put the screw on the oil pan, make sure everything is sealed, and start putting the oil. This is a lifesaver. You just fold it, and your work is still clean. As you can see, it's drained, so all you have to do is make sure you hold it right. You put it in. So now we start screwing. By hand, make sure that it goes smooth, because if you messed up this threading, you have to take off the oil pan. Once it's all the way in by hand, we apply a little bit of torque, about pounds, I'm not sure, but I would say about like 30-40 pounds. Make sure that it's tight. My job is done on the bottom. Just have to put back the plastic cover. Then I'm gonna do it at the end to make sure that there's no oil leaks. Very important to keep always the carton on. As you see, everything is clean. And this is the same carton that I'm gonna use to put back this oil to recycle. Please, people, when you get this oil, don't throw it through the drain. Make sure we stay safe and green. This can cause a lot of damage. So all the auto zones, all the auto parts, they take this oil back and they recycle it for us. So it's a little bit more work, but we have to do it for the work. After I finish doing the whole oil filter, I'm gonna put this back on the new cans that then are gonna be old with the oil. I take it back to the store so they can recycle it for us. Now we're gonna start putting the oil to the engine. I make sure that the screw on the oil pan is set. Use a funnel because this car requires more than 5 quarters because it's a 6 engine and Mercedes hold a lot of more oil than any other car. Mobil 1 oil for European car is 0W40. This one is gonna go the whole thing in, so I don't even have to check. There's always a complaint on how to put the oil without having the oil jumping. People do it like this, people do it like this. Once you have a funnel, it's just way easier because of the aim. This is my easiest way. This one goes all the way, but I'm not even gonna check. I'm just gonna throw it in, and after this I'm gonna check how the oil levels are on the engine. You put it a little bit to the side when you start doing it. The oil does not jump because there's air coming in the bottle and oil coming out. And make sure you don't get those small funnels. We're finishing these 5 quarters so I can check the oil stick. And let's check the oil level. I always clean my oil stick a little bit and check it again. So I do my oil stick once before I check the levels to make sure it's accurate. See? Missing like another quarter. Second 5 quarters, based on what the stick says, is missing like a 1 quarter. This is amazing. You always have the measurements here on the side. I'm gonna make sure that it goes from here to here, and I check the oil stick again. As you see, it's right to the top. This is low, medium, high. We're close to high. It says that it's missing like a little bit more. Once we put the extra oil, we make sure we remove all the tools. We put the oil cap back on. We also make sure the stick is back on. All filter is hand tight. We put the cover, it's in position, and just push it down. Put the covers back, put the oil back on the containers to recycle it.
Métele sazón, aventura y caballón.
The oil is really dark, so it's very important that you're trying to change your oil every 3,000 miles. Or if you have synthetic, you can extend it a little bit more. But with this type of cars, if you want a long life, trying to still do it at 3,000 miles. Now we have to put the covers back. The first one that goes in is the one on the front, which go attached to the bumper. Make sure it's in the right position. So the plastic cover, you put it on the back, push it forward, and it kind of like stuck to the bumper, and just start putting the screws back. Now we're putting the other cover. Gonna put one to hold it. Now we're gonna reset the maintenance light. So now we have to close the door, put the key on, switch the key once. Make sure that it's on the mileage, and you have to press the OK button and the call button. First you press the call and then OK. Wait. Then it's gonna give you the vehicle data. It helps you to see the details of the computer. Dynamo test, which is that you remove all the restrictions on the car if you're gonna race and do fun stuff on the car. Analyst Plus, that's the one that you're gonna do. You select OK, full service, on full service, configure self-service, service carried out, you select yes because you did the updates, and then you hit confirm. Full service carried out, that means that you confirm that you completed all the maintenance. The job is done. Yeah. Covers are back, oil was changed, filter was changed. I put the oil back. I make sure that all the components were tight and nice. No oil leaks on it. Drive to the shop, bring the oil, and we're good for the day. See you on the next time. I love you guys.